ओम ओम सदाशिवसमारंभा शंकराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरंपरा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहि तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहि। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। We'll go straight. Mantra number 17. Vāyur amṛtam athedaṃ. It should be other way around. Vāyu amṛtam athedaṃ bhasmāntaṃ śarīram. Om krato smara kṛtaṃ smara. Krato smara kṛtaṃ smara. We have already discussed in the last class. So this mantra is a prayer at the time of death, and that too not by ordinary people, by an upasaka, the one who has been practicing, especially nishkama hiranyagarbha upasana. And what is the prayer? So prayer starts with that athedaṃ amṛtam anilam pravishatu iti. Let this beshti join with samashti. My individual prana joins with cosmic prana. So that means my sukshma sharira joins with hiranyagarbha. That's why also it's called hiranyagarbha upasana, that too niskama, not sakama. So that's why this is also to be understood very carefully. Taijasa gets into hiranyagarbha. I hope remembering Tattvabodha. And of course, because this is what is to be done, Vishwa joins with Virata, Taijasya hiranyagarbha, and Pragya joins with Ishwaraha. So this is the main concept here. So that's why I don't want to hold on to mortality, because what is mortality? Mortality is nothing but individuality. So as long as my individuality remains, that long I am mortal. So the loss of individuality is called immortality. We have seen in details. So that means here, very carefully, an upasaka comes to a point where the person feels, we call as technically experiential fulfillment. So when you are experiential fulfillment, when you have, your mind does not move unnecessarily at all. That's why what that person do says, idam śarīram bhasmāntaṃ bhavatu iti. So that means now may this physical body ends in ashes. We have discussed in details. So what does it mean? So he says, look, whole life I have been offering to the fire. Now let this body finally be offered in the fire. So I offer this body in the fire beforehand. So whether people do it or not, that's not my point. So I offer. So this is the bhavana of this upasaka. So what is the background behind it. So background behind is this, that the upasaka understands the body that I am holding, it is Bhagavan's property. And me becoming a jiva because of misunderstanding, I myself called as individual jiva. Now I have taken Bhagavan's property on lease. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, or 100 years, whatever, okay? I am on lease, but I am not the owner. So when I have taken on lease, what I need to do? So I need to surrender. I need to return to the owner, that too respectfully. So that's why towards the end, bhasmāntaṃ, when he says that Agni Devata happens to be immediate Devata, referring the Ishvara. Because when the person is not available, so you hand over what? Who is power, holding power of attorney? Who represents? You understand? So now this Agni Devata is supposed to be mediatory Devata between me and the Ishvara. That's why when I offer any oblation, where do I offer? I offer in fire. So that's why the other name of fire is called Havyavahana. So now here he says, look, now I respectfully return this property called this body to the Lord from whom I had given as on lease. And third point says, O krato, here we stopped. Om krato smara. The most important thing is that, please understand, one needs to talk to one's own mind. We always talk to others, or we try to look at others through mind. So we either talk to our shadow that we see in others, but in reality, we do not talk to our mind. And when a person does not talk to one's own mind, that person always tries to run away, escape, keeps engaged in different things. Because why one need to talk to mind? Because mind happens to be the seat of sankalpa. And being the seat of sankalpa, any sort of sankalpa that you make, that is in mind. Now, if you do not talk, then what will happen? Now, the mind will create a lot of confusion because mind doesn't want to be available for yourself. So here says that you need to talk to the mind directly. And because if you do not talk to the mind directly, it is not that easy. And how to talk to the mind directly? Please understand that. Unless and until you do upasana, it is impossible to talk to the mind directly. Why? Because mind is always busy in worldly negotiation. Just observe these 3 points. Mind is always busy in worldly negotiation. In the name of relationship, in the name of the power, position, whatnot. And of course, mind is always attached to the unresolved thoughts or unresolved attachment. And most importantly also, mind starts wandering, wavering, scattered thinking. So these are the 3 things mind has. And these 3 things, as long as continue, remember, that long one cannot talk to one's own mind. That's why upasana is most important here. And interestingly, because of upasana, towards the end of the life, now the person when the final moment comes, there what happens? No worldly negotiation. Like our popular story, hey, you three guys are here. Who is sitting near the cash box? You understand? So no worldly negotiation. What is going to happen to my child? Will they survive or not? What will happen to my home? Or a Swami can say, what will happen to my organization? Bhad mein jao sab. You understand? This is real stupidity. So that's what we call upasana. And interestingly, when you see this, that is why we say, na, do not, antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram, Bhagavad Gita chapter 8. That is what is being highlighted. Yah prayati saha madbhavam yati iti. So this is the point is being highlighted. So that means what? Oh mind, let me talk to you, listen to me. That's why repetition is being done. That krato smara, then again smara. What smara? Kṛtaṃ smara. So may you listen to, oh mind, may you listen. So what you need to do now, because whatever is habit I have, that will pop up during my death. Because during death time, deliberate thinking will not work. Only my habits will pop up. That's why whole life, if I am worried about something or other, during death time, only those thoughts will be strong. The best example is King Bharata. So what happened? How did he get attached? That too, that small, this cub, deer cub. There are many examples we have. That's why here is being said that when habit takes over, better to create habit. That means what? Start daily upasana so that you prepare your mind. Remember, when you do daily upasana, death is nothing but only is a testing your preparation. So you are sitting on your exam. Death day is your examination day, whether you are or you have prepared properly or not. If you have not prepared, don't worry. I cannot say you are a failure. One more life. This is a very painful failure, okay? So that's why what you need to do, better work for jnanam. If you cannot work for jnanam, at least let there be karma mukti. So this is the verse number 17. Krato smara, kṛta smara, krato smara, kṛtaṃ smara. Repetition, okay? Now continuing the last mantra. Agne, naya, supathā, rāye, asmān. viśvāni deva, vayunāni vidvān. yuyodhy smaran juhurāṇam bhūyiṣṭhāṃ. te namauktiṃ videma. Now, this being the concluding mantra of this Upanishad. Now, here, Agni Bhagavan, Agni Devata is being addressed as Sakshi of all our karma upasana. So especially when I'm in Pravritti Marga, because all these are talking about Pravritti Marga. So being in Pravritti Marga, now this Agni Devata is being, witnessing me all the time. That's why last class I said, if you cannot do agnihotra adi karma, don't worry. At least make sure that lamp to be lit all the time. So then let the lamp witness you at least. So that is most important thing. Okay. However, so here we have discussed that agni, when witnesses, that's why in every ritual we start with fire. Including, that's why even if fire ritual you do, so first lamp has to be lit. So in the presence of agni, every, let us say, ritual that to karma or upasana is being made. So that means, in short, agni records my punya and papa. Now, if this is the case, now who will recommend me whether to have Suklagati or Krishnagati? Whether I will go to higher loka or lower loka? It is only Agni. Get the point? That's why during death time, the fire is being carried from the home. So that at least my Agni will support me, okay? So with the Agni's recommendation, either we go to higher loka or lower loka. And Agni cannot support because will support based on your karma. Don't forget that. Because Agni has observed that how I have been doing or how I have done my Nitya Naimitika karma. Don't ask me what is Nitya Naimitika karma, okay? Also, Agni has observed that how I have been doing Pancha Mahayagya. Somebody said, Swamiji, why are you bringing this? Once I was talking somewhere, Pancha Mahayagya. I said, Swamiji, why are you talking about Pancha Mahayagya? Please, you need to really understand our problem. When we eat fridge food, that too 10 days old food, reheating, and reheating, and you are talking about Pancha Mahayagya every day making fresh food and giving to cow and dog and ant, pipilika, bird, and all these things. Please stop this. Indirectly, I'm addressing you all, okay? Don't think that somebody to ask me, okay? That's why God said, don't eat, freeze food. Even if your mother, wife, or you, please say, okay, thank you, please put it in the dustbin. As a rule. Any choice is yours. So that's why he says, look, now he uses this word. He deva agni, viśvāni, vayunāni, vidvān. Now, what he says, naya. Now, what you need to do, you need to lead us. Where to lead? Supathā. Supathā means Shukla Gati, by the Shukla Gati. That's why one of the point we say, you can see now this Uttarayanam is coming. So Uttarayanam is 14th of January, okay? The sun will move from southern direction to northern direction. In fact, when a person passes during this southern direction, also there is a Krishna Gati, day and a time. Suppose if you go in the night time, that is also Krishna Gati. There are layers, okay? In daytime, it becomes Shukla Gati. We have a lot of classifications. And in that also daytime timings, a lot of factors are involved. That's why we say very carefully, as we look at the horoscope of a person based on the based on the arrival time, birth time. Also, we look at Preta's departure time to do the rituals. So to make sure that the person should have better movement. So even if it goes to Krishnagati, let us make it should not get into too much, because if it gets into too much problem, being father, mother, my ancestor, also that problem will come to me. That's why that death rituals are most important. That's why lot of restrictions. However, here he says, look, now I was saying this point. In fact, Bhishma, when Mahabharata was going on, he waited. He was lying down on the, arrow bed, not ordinary bed, okay? Bed of arrows. So he waited till the sun, moved from southern to northern direction. So he preferred. So there are many incidents are there. So let me not get into that. So these are the symptoms of this Shuklagati. And interestingly, he says, look, now when it comes to Shuklagati, now, he deva, viśvāni deva vayunāni. So when it says viśvāni, vayunāni, vidvān, because here mainly, agne deva, you know all my karmas. I am not creating any, false claim. I cannot. So when you know everything, so what you need to do? So my prayer is nothing. So my prayer to you is that, please, supathā naya. So it is not supathā naya, may you make you to walk in the ethical path or go to some other things. No, strictly, I am very specific. May you make my path to go to Suklagati. Means, let there be krama mukti. Let me go to Brahmaloka. Give me Brahmaloka prapti. So that once I go to Brahmaloka, then what happens? Definitely, I will have jnanam over there. So now when it says, one may say very carefully, that is what is being said, that yuyodhy. So this yuyodhy, okay, which is not that easy, but this is called prayer. He says, look, you have this power. So I am saying not to remove anything, but you can push aside my obstacles, my purpose. So my request is, make sure that please, because there are many hidden purposes, that too, not only this life, God knows what other things are there in my subconscious mind. So I request you, so please push aside those obstacles so that let me go to Brahmaloka. So once I go to Brahmaloka, it's like, I don't want to say, like in India, they say, so there is one called washing machine, okay? So whoever gets into that washing machine, so everything is cleaned. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say is. So this is called political, okay? Don't worry, okay? So we have in India called political washing machine, okay? Every country is there, but India is more strong, okay? All country have, don't worry. However, so I am, because here is not washing machine actually. So as long as you are with the government, whatever you have done, that those files will be suppressed. So this is called policy. Here also I am requesting you, please keep it aside so that let me go to Brahmaloka and I'll have knowledge. Then I don't have to claim anymore. Chapter is over. So that means what? I am not denying. Here not a denial. Here I am requesting, please do the postponement till I reach Brahmaloka. And once I Brahmaloka, that means what? I don't have to worry at all. And remember, most important thing is that is what he says. Look, juhurāṇam, asmāt juhurāṇam, that bhūyiṣṭhāṃ iti. So when he says, look, and namauktiṃ videma, I really talk loudly, verbal namaskar, namaukti, that to bhūyiṣṭhāṃ, continuously with continuous surrender and repeatedly, because nothing but I would like to say openly, please take care of me. Because It is you who can help me, and you have witnessed everything. So it is your responsibility to take care of me. This is called complete surrender to the higher. That's why what it says, if we look at that, whether you follow Prabhuti Marga or not, if you are already in Nivritti Marga, as we discussed in the beginning, makes no difference what happens to you. What happens to society? You just play what is to be done. Okay, when mosquito bites, oh, you will feel like pain. Okay, then after that, okay, that is mosquito dharma. Your dharma also to allow it. Whereas if you are not in Nivritti Marga, Prabhuti Marga, better do Upasana. And those Upasana will continue with you. That's why I have highlighted, have your Ishtadevata, spend some time puja, japa, dwell upon, or else Vedanta will become Devanta. Very interesting to listen to Vedanta. But remember, it's not going to solve the purpose either. So in this, we have completed this Upanishad called Ishavasyopanishad. So do you want to give me 15 minutes time so that I can give the summary? All of you are okay? Or difficult? Whoever is difficult, tell me so that we'll take another class. 1-5. Quick. Okay. No problem. Whoever wants to go away can go. Okay. Most. So let us look at now the summary in 15 minutes. I'll try to give. So as we have seen, so this Upanishad happens to Shukla Yajurveda. And Shukla Yajurveda, Kanwa and Madhyandina, both the sakhas it has. Thirdly, this Upanishad also named as Ishavasyopanishad, also Ishopanishad. It has got 18 mantras. Because it is called as Ishavasyopanishad, because the mantra starts with Ishavasyam idam sarvam iti. And interestingly, being short Upanishad, there is no dialogue format, there is no Guru Sishya Parampara description, straight away comes to the teaching. That's why we say this teaching is delivered directly without any ambiguity. Short and brief, no ambiguity at all. Succinctly. And what was being discussed? Mainly, if we look at, especially mantra 1 and 2, discussed about goal and lifestyle. So, the goal is nothing but called moksha, and that can happen only through Ishvara Jnana. And what is Ishvara Jnana? What is the knowledge of Ishvara? Ishvara is not separate from the world. In fact, the world itself is Ishvara. And of course, I am Ishvara. That's why teaching highlighted what? Ishamashyam idam sarvam iti. Everything pervaded by Ishvara iti. So what is to be done and how to look at? He says, look, you don't have to do anything. Earlier, you had prapancha drishti. So because you started seeing world as different, that is called prapancha drishti. Now you need to change from prapancha drishti to Ishvara drishti, karya drishti to karana drishti. We have discussed in details. Or you can say dvaita drishti to advaita drishti. So here not changing people, changing things, but changing one's own vision. And once you start doing this, then you start discovering, because in Dvaita Drushti, there is a bhayam. That's why you are in samsara. Whereas in Advaita Drushti, there is no bhayam, abhayamiti. And that's why you are liberated, moksha. And how to go about it? And very carefully, Upanishad highlighted that there are two margas. One is called Nivritti Marga, other one is called Pravritti Marga. So Nivritti Marga is nothing but sannyasa ashram. So the verse, the mantra, one indicated, Magdra Kasya Siddhanam iti. So that means Nivritti Marga is nothing but Jnana Pradhana. So here you are, withdrawing yourself. That we said, that where the transaction is as less as possible. That's why you don't have much possessions, no obligations, no unnecessary relationship. And because of this, your transaction is less. Whereas in Pravritti Marga, if you look at where karma and upasana pradhana, not ego pradhana, ahankara pradhana. Nowadays, ahankara pradhana. Ahankara follows by mamakara. So here, that was being indicated by kurbannaveha karmani jijiviset satagam samaha iti. So I need to live longer, so that life should be full of activities and responsibility. So that I make sure that I am busy in my karma and upasana. So that means very clearly was being highlighted. Look, lifestyle is optional, but my destination or goal is not optional. Is it clear? That's why he tried to explain from mantra number 3 to 8, Nivritti Marga in details. So where in mantra number 3, that mainly the Upanishad condemned ignorance, where he said, look, if you are not going for atmajnana, self-knowledge, you are busy in your way, even if you go to Surgaloka or any other loka, including Brahmaloka, remember, you are called as Atma Hanaha. You are the destroyer of yourself. So that's why you have to be very careful in this regard. And of course, while discussing, he tried to explain, especially mantra number 8 was very clear, where he tried to say that, look, what is the nature of one's own self? Chaitanya Swarupaha, Sariratraya Vilakshanaha, Sarvagataha, Nityaha, Achalaha, Suddhaha, Ekaha, iti. It went on and on, that we have seen in details. And when it was talking that it was aprameyaha jagat karanam advaitam. So when you start looking at this, definitely what happens, that because of all this jnanam, you understand that there is only one thing exists, that is called me, the atma, world which is nothing but only nama rupa. So you understand there are no karana and a karya, but only one thing exists. From karya standpoint, there is karana. When there is no karya at all, how come there will be karana? So if there is product, then only there is cause. If there is no product exist, how come there is cause? So while discussing this thing, what you get the benefit? So what is the result of jnanam? So mainly we talk 3 points. That there is no shokam, no grief, no worries. There is no moha. So moha means what? Delusion is called false dependence on worldly happiness. And of course, there is no jugupsa, no insecurity. So these are the jnana phalam. Suppose if you are not able to manage nivritti marga, so you can go to pravritti marga, because nivritti marga depends upon many factors, also God's grace, many other things. So it doesn't matter. You can choose to get into pravritti marga. So mantra number 9 to 14 talked in details. So here he highlighted, look, you need to work on niskama karma. That is what is called karma yoga. And of course, you need to do panchamahayagya. You need to nitya naimitya karma and all these things. And of course, it is also necessary to do upasana. So upasana, because if you have mental restlessness, you don't have any other choice other than doing upasana. And also upasana is most important thing for Vedanta Shravana. Because without upasana, you cannot be eligible for Vedanta Shravana. Mere niskama karma will not be helpful for Vedanta. So that's why it is better to combine both karma and upasana. So that is what was being highlighted, that there are two types of upasana. One was called Hiranyagarbha upasana, other one is called Prakruti upasana. Or you can say Ishvara upasana and Shakti upasana. That's why by default, anybody does Shakti upasana, worships mother. So definitely all sort of vibhuti comes. Whereas in Ishvara upasana also comes many things. That's why there are two types of upasana. That is also what that was being taught. And finally, what happens? Says, look, towards end, especially from 15 to 18, try to highlight, look, there are two types of mukti. So one is called jivan mukti, other one is called karma mukti. So that means what, how this jiva mukti will happen? Jivan mukti will happen, karma plus upasana. Then comes what? Jnana yogyata prapti. Because of jnana yogyata prapti, that comes jnanam comes, that is called jnana yoga, then moksha. You are liberated when you are alive. If that doesn't happen, second one would be karma mukti. So karma mukti means what? Those who could not get into jnana in this life here itself, now be a upasaka. Being upasaka, you start what? Praying. So because you start praying, towards the end of the life, you will go to Suklagati through your Susumna Nadi, or you can say different based on the different times, and Agni will help you, and Surya Upasana, etc. were being taught. That's why you will go to what? You will go to Brahmaloka, where Brahmaji will be the teacher, the guru over there. Of course, you will start gaining, or you will gain moksha. So that means what? Here he says, look, I need to remember Ishvara. My relationship is always with Ishvara, not with object or people. With this Upanishad is completed. Om Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good. Om Ishavasyopanishad sarvam yatkinchittim jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita magruddha kasya siddhanam. Thus, for the timing, class is completed.